trough. All right. The length of one cycle is called our wavelength. Okay. The length of one cycle. See, look at this graph. It's giving you in distance, so I know that this cannot be the period, right? Because the period is measured in time. All right. So our amplitude can be either from the undisturbed value to the peak, or from the undisturbed value to the trough. Okay. From trough to peak, that's going to be our
Peak to peak.
peak to peak amplitude. Okay. Or our amplitude squared will give you the peak to peak amplitude.
What's the baseline called?
The undisturbed value. Undisturbed value. Or baseline. I always call it the baseline, but the undisturbed value is also what it is, because it's where it's zero. Zero, the undisturbed value. All right? So,
Peak to peak amplitude is double amplitude, not amplitude was.
Double amplitude to get the peak to peak. All right? So, on this side, we have, looks like the same thing as the wavelength, but this graph is telling us that it's measured in time. So we know that this is going to be our period from the beginning of the wave to the beginning of the next wave. That's our period, okay, in time. Okay? And that's it. That's all I have right there, guys. So real quick, I do want to just talk about Uber. What is the period? If you guys can answer this without looking in the book, let's see. What is the period?
It's the time that required to take one cycle or to make one cycle.
The time, I'm going to probably ask you everything except the typical values right now, because I'm sure it takes some time to know those typical values. All right? So, what are our units of period, Adam?
Seconds.
Seconds or microseconds, more specifically, or time, definitely. Most importantly, when you have your test, guys, know what units are associated with which parameter. Okay? Because all our parameters, what do they do? What do they do differently from variables?
Describe.
They describe our, I like that, got y'all on point today. Our parameters describe the characteristics of a sound wave. Okay? Our variables identify sound waves, okay, with pressure, density, and distance. Okay? Farnaz, what is our frequency?
The number of cycle
Cycles per second. It's the number of cycles per second in diagnostic ultrasound, or how often an event occurs in a certain amount of time. All right. What are our units of frequency? Oh, Ewan. What are our units of frequency? When? You. You know what I'm talking to. I don't know why I was thinking about your name in my head, how it was spelled. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. What are our units? Hertz. Hertz are our unit for frequency. All right. Sophie, how many hertz are in 1 kilohertz? How many hertz equal 1 kilohertz?
1,000.
1,000 hertz equal 1 kilohertz. Okay. Do it. What is amplitude?
Amplitude is the the bigness of wave.
Bigness of a wave. Okay, I'm with that. I'm with that. What are our units of amplitude, Miss Cecile? That's a tricky one, right? That's a tricky one, right? If you,
Of what?
what are our units of amplitude?
Amplitude. I forgot. Just a minute. I need to.
Somebody help her out. What are our units of amplitude?
But
Any one of the acoustic variables units.
Distance.
Any one of the acoustic variable units. Or decibels, right?
Decibel.
And decibels, right? And decibels. So decibels also describe magnitude, right? Because when you think about, I don't know, sound, when you go and get your hearing test and they have you have that little beep. Everybody had that test before? Elementary school?
I do
Headphones?
from my son, yeah.
With the little beep? That's measured in